Hi, fellow traders. I hope everybody had a great day today. I had a stressful day because I was trying to do too much at one time. I was trying to trade, I was trying to be in the community, and I had these guys working on a tree outside my house that is kind of dying and leaves are breaking off. And I needed to get this thing handled before the winter time came because any ice gets on that tree, it's coming. These are some huge oak tree limbs and they're heavy. So I had one fall the last storm we had, and it clipped the corner of my house and broke, a piece of the molding off and a piece of the roof shingle, and that was just too close for comfort. So, but they were working right over my head for most of the day, so I couldn't stay here. I had to keep moving around, and that's why I was in and out of my platform, and things just kind of seemed out of sorts today. But I was trying to keep everything in check here. But I want to reiterate to everybody: if you're not a member of the community, this isn't a chat room. This is an education community. The reason being, any class, any course that I have, if you're a member of the community, you get it free. The day of swing trading courses I have, the education webinars that I do on Wednesdays, and in that webinar that we're doing now is the trader mindset workshop, the trading psychology course. We're doing that on Wednesdays now. So, in other words, all members, they will get current and future classes for free. I'll never send you an email and try to upsell you to an advanced course. If I learn it, I'm going to add it to my course and I'm going to teach it in the community. It's just that simple. I had to decide, do I want to have a business or do I want to be a teacher? And I'm a teacher. I'm an educator first. I love doing it. I may not be the best, but I love it. I have a passion for it. And that's why I'm doing what I'm doing. My number one job is to teach you and help you be a successful trader. And that's it. That's all I want to do. I don't want to have a bunch of sheep that depend on me. I want you in the community because you're learning and you're growing every day. And that's why I want you coming in. That's why I want you renewing your subscription. Not because you feel that I'm doing things to coerce you to do it. You have to make that decision yourself and say, hey, I'm learning and I'm reaching my goals. Slowly but surely I'm getting there. I'm getting better. So that's what I want. So if you're not in, you need to get in. If you know anybody, share this with them. Tell them to come check me out. If you want to talk to me, I'm not against Skyping or, chatting on the phone, answering questions. I don't hide behind email, so I'll be right here. And just know that this community is all about education. It's not about entertainment. I'm not going to entertain you you may get entertained with some of the stupid stuff I do. You may laugh at me sometimes, but I'm not there to entertain you. I'm there to teach you and show you exactly what it's going to take to be a successful trader. Now, anybody could come in, open up an account, and get lucky on a couple of trades. But can you sustain that? That's what the question is. Can you sustain it? Can you make a living doing it? And when you start making money, do you know how to handle it? Do you know how to manage it? All of these things that you don't think about coming in, that's my job to help you think about and help you develop those skills so that you can be successful and make it to the next level. So just wanted to throw that out there and remind you, if you are a member, you do get the classes. If you're not getting them and you're not coming in, you need to let me know so I can make sure you know exactly where you need to be. All right, so let's take a look at my day here. SQ, this is a little crazy because, you know, I started with enough size because I wanted this. This was my final target. So we look at the daily chart. Let's go back to the daily chart. And everything starts with a daily chart. And we talked about this morning when we were building our watch list, how, you know, we've been selling off. This didn't have any fresh catalyst, but it's been really selling off. And I was looking at, okay, here's a significant pivot here that it respected it on Friday. So if we get in and I get a good entry, even if it stops at this pivot, I'm going to, you know, make a couple bucks. And if it bounces, we're going to look to run it back up to the 20 here. So I had a plan going both ways. Always have a plan long and short. Doesn't matter what it looks like because you never know what can happen. So I had a plan both ways. My end target, final target was going to be this 35.73, this 50 day. And I kind of had to put it here. I couldn't get it to the exact price because this chart wasn't open up. But as you know, we've been talking about the opening range breakdown, the 5-minute opening range trades, or the opening range trades in class. And we looked at an example live. We're going to look at some more this week, tomorrow. We're going to add a little bit to that. Now, this hit my scan. I know you guys didn't see this on my scan at 9 o'clock or 8:30 when we started our watch list build. This was on my scan earlier. And, you know, around 8 o'clock, because we had gapped up and we were over $1 from yesterday's close, and we had some volume. But by the time we started looking at it, the $1 gap had closed up. So it wasn't on my scan. But because I knew some of the history of this and I knew this was selling off, I knew that if we could not push, you know, once we lost this 200, if we couldn't push back over it, my bias is going to be short. And I almost convinced myself to take it short here. I'm glad I didn't, because I would have had to stop out and reset going back into the open. But we did. We pushed the 200 here, went up, rejected the VWAP. And when I saw that, I'm like, we need to watch this first 5-minute candle. You know, that first 5-minute candle is going to tell us the story. So, you know, this candle printed, we were selling hard. So what I was looking for was the first 5-minute candle, the first candle to open, run up and test the 200, just like it did here. And if it failed, as soon as it got back below the VWAP, and I had a confirm on the 2-minute candle, and that's just because of this setup, I could defer to the 2-minute candle versus the 5-minute. Because even if I got in here, I really could have taken profit down here. I was just holding for a bigger move. I was holding for this level, but I could have just as easily taken profit, you know, right in here between this level, locked in some. And if we fail, I would still have a couple dollars profit, and I could wait and reset. But this is what I really like to see. This is an ideal opening range trade for me. I just use the 2-minute versus the 5-minute. I don't recommend you doing the 2-minute when you're first learning this, because when I first learned the opening range trade, I did it on a 15-minute. So I waited for the first 15 minutes to print, the first 3 5-minute candles, and then I would get my entry. Well, over a period of time, that kind of got lost in the shuffle, and the 5-minute seems to be king right now. And I could, if everything sets up perfectly, I can get in on the 2-minute, especially when we're under the VWAP, the 9 to 20, everything's selling off, everything looks weak. Ideal scenario. So I got in, took half off here because of this. I took half off here, and I took some more off at this 37.70 level. Now, I'm sorry I had to do it like this so that I could get all of the SQ trades here. So the times are going to be off. So you got to do a little bit of work to see this. Okay, right here, 38.36. I got in. I got spooked out because of how much we were holding 38. 38 was not going anywhere. And I ended up taking half off just to lock in some. And then I took, let's see, 125 off at 37.70, which was the level that I wanted to hit to start with. This was going to be my first target. But I wasn't watching P&L. I wasn't watching anything. I was watching the price action. And the problem that it kept showing up here at 38. I mean 30, yeah. At 38. The problem we were having at 38, that's why I got out. Got out half there, took some here. Took some more off at, so it's 9.45. Took some more off at 9.58. I took 75 shares, which would leave me with 50. So I took 75 shares here at 9.58, 37.25 right here. And let's see, at 10.10 I took 50 shares off at 36.98. So what happened was I had another 25 shares left that I was going to put out there for a bid. I forgot I had it there. It was a buy order. So before I could short, the freaking buy order for 25 shares here at 10.16 hit. So I'm like, what? So I was in 25 shares at 10.16, and then at 30, then here's where I started shorting. I'm like, this doesn't make sense. But then I realized, okay, I shorted, here's the first 100, the 200. So I shorted 200 shares because I was in another trade. And, this is where that 25 just got messed up right here. Because I left the cover order on and it kind of got me confused. But then I shorted it again over here, covered here, got stopped out, break even. Well, no, actually, I let this stop go a little bit further than break even. I should have had it at break even, but I outsmarted myself thinking that we would reject off of this, and we didn't. So it caught my line in the sand, and I actually gave back a little of this profit. Here, I got short here, got stopped out, next candle. And here's a rule, broke the golden rule here, shorted on support. This is why you don't do it. And now we're looking at a nice bull flag trying to form. So So I buy. And ended up stopping out. So I get back in after we reject here. I short it and ended up having to take this off because, I had to leave and I didn't want to leave a whole lot of stuff on because I had to be within 2 to 1 and I was still in AAP, which we're going to show in a minute. But all in all, this was okay. I mean, I should have made $300-400 on this trade, but in here I just kind of got psycho here and messed myself up. I shorted it, then ended up getting stopped out and just getting crazy. I shorted it here, added here, and then ended up just taking it all off. Just a mess. It's what it was. I'm still confused about what I did, but was a mess. AXTA, this one was a nice one, and I kind of chased it a little bit here. I should have waited for a bounce to get in, but I chased it a little bit, and we sold off a little. It bounced, and then I ended up getting back, taking some off here, and then stopped out break even. So this only got me, after commissions, it'll probably be right at $50. But didn't really trade this anymore. I was looking for it to sell off. And this one was kind of a news play. This was based on, I thought the news was fluff and it was being manipulated, and it looks like it was. They sold it off, and then we had some people buy some shares. We got a lot bought up here, especially right here. Look, you would think this would be a volume top, but this was actually some buying here, some solid buying. But not so good on that one. It was okay. NVDA, this one I took while I was sitting out front. Now, some people in the room caught this morning. They caught this and they nailed it. This wasn't on my watch, but they nailed this, and this was a huge move. So I congratulate the guys that really caught this. And this is why this chart was up, because I was looking at it on, the swing trade computer. That's what I could roll around. And I saw it pulled back, it bounced, it rejected this level again. And I'm saying as soon as we lose VWAP, I'm jumping on this, because we could come back all the way back to the 200 here. I mean, not 200, the 90 day. So, I got in, we tried to pull back, it held below everything. So, I covered some here. I missed this, because I was outside talking to the guy when I didn't have my order in. So I missed it. So when I got back in, I had to cover some. That's why it's a crazy, cover here. And then I had to get ready to go get my son. I really should have just dumped all of it here, but I didn't realize what time it was and that I was getting ready to have to leave. So could have made a whole lot more on this, but just couldn't. I couldn't leave it on. I promised myself I wasn't going to trade driving anymore. So that was out of the question. The other trade, we took this early. We took the first trade on this early. And I'm showing you this because, I got in, I locked in some profit on this. And then, for some odd strange reason, I decided to get back in this. I decided to short this, and I was gonna hold it until we lost VWAP. And again, I'm trying to do too many things at one time. I didn't have a stop in, and I get back, and we're all the way up here. So at this point, I think we're on this candle here. I just put in a hard stop just above this candle and said, I'm just going to let it go. I got a hard stop here. If it takes me out, fine. If not, we're going to fade into the close. And I was looking for it to fade into the close, but it held VWAP here, started to push back up. And once the market closed, I started to see some of the ask getting pulled. And I'm like, well, maybe we can get a dip or a drop. So I put in my order here at 406 at $100. And I know we were up here at 104, but looking at level 2, there were more prints here on level 2 around 100. So I put mine in at 100. And it's happened before that I just put an order out here on the bid and see if it got hit. And right here, it came right down to 100, just like I wanted it to. But guess what? I didn't get hit. Here's the order that got hit right here. 450 shares for $100. And then 50 got filled at 102, both from the same market maker. And here my order is sitting there and never got touched. Never got touched. But that's why, I did that. And it's not so much a gamble, because had this popped up, then I would take it off. But I've seen these, especially stocks that are trading with smaller size, not really sell off. I mean, not really pop up. They end up selling off or tanking. So I tried that, and it didn't work. So we're still holding on to this. So you can see my day was just a clusterfuck. It was a mess. Running around, running back and forth, doing this, that, and the other thing. So as it stands now, we're at 403.38. So I'm down 94.25 because on AAP I did have some profit on the first trade. The second trade I'm down on. So we have to wait and see how this plays out. Not sure if I'm going to hold it till tomorrow, because I don't like the way the daily chart looks. The daily chart looks long. And let me show you this real quick, just to give you an idea of why I was trading AAP to start with. I was looking for it to roll over here and pull back to this level. That's what I was looking for it to do today. But we opened up here. We started to sell a little bit, and that's what got me interested. So we pushed up, and I thought we were going to come back down. We didn't. We ended up almost closing this gap right here. So it'll probably close it tomorrow. But that's just trying to make something happen. Again, like I said, trying to make something happen out of nothing. That's pretty much what it boiled down to. All right, so that was my day. In a nutshell, we'll see, how it ends up tomorrow, later on in the week. But we'll be back at it tomorrow. Be able to give it 100% full attention. And we will have our day trading class tomorrow Should be at normal time, 4:30. But if something changes, I will let you know. So you guys have a great night, great evening, and I will see you first thing in the morning.